People who love cats hear this all the time. You're cold, you're distant, you just haven't met the right dog yet. But what if I told you that the human brain reacts to cats in a way that quietly exposes how someone thinks, loves, and protects their inner world? What if your cat choice isn't random at all? What if it's a psychological fingerprint hiding in plain sight? If stories like this make your brain light up, if you enjoy psychology that actually explains people instead of judging them, hit subscribe and tap the notification bell right now. You don't want to miss what comes next, because this channel is all about decoding human behavior in ways that might make you uncomfortable, but always make you wiser. Let's set the stage. Cats have been misunderstood for centuries. They're labeled as selfish, aloof, even unloving. Meanwhile, dogs are praised as loyal, emotional, dependable. So when someone says they prefer cats, they're often quietly judged. But psychology tells a very different story, because the people who genuinely love cats aren't choosing the easier animal. They're choosing complexity. And that choice says something deep about how their mind works. Here's the first psychological clue. Cat lovers tend to be highly independent thinkers, not rebellious, not antisocial, independent. Cats don't obey just because you ask. They don't respond to authority the way dogs do. And the people who love them don't need constant validation or control. They're comfortable letting things exist without dominating them. But here's the twist. That same independence hides something most people miss. Psychologists have found that cat lovers often score higher in introspective thinking. They spend a lot of time in their own heads, not overthinking everything, but observing, watching, processing. A cat doesn't demand your attention. It waits. And people who love cats are often the same way. They don't rush into conversations. They don't overshare. They let others reveal themselves first. And that's where it gets interesting. Because this quiet observation creates emotional intelligence that doesn't look emotional at all. Cat lovers are often deeply empathetic, but selectively so. They don't spread their energy everywhere. They reserve it, which means when they care, they really care. But most people never see that side of them. And that's the cliffhanger, because the next trait flips the entire stereotype on its head. Cat lovers often value consent more than control. This is huge. A cat chooses you. It doesn't belong to you in the same way a dog does. And people who love cats tend to respect boundaries, even when it's inconvenient. They understand that affection means more when it's earned, not forced. This shows up in relationships, friendships, parenting, even leadership. But here's the reveal. That respect for boundaries often comes from something deeper. Many cat lovers learned early that emotional safety matters. Maybe they grew up in environments where emotions were unpredictable. Maybe they learned to read the room to protect themselves. Cats are subtle. Their signals are quiet, and people who love them are often excellent at reading unspoken cues, tone, body language, silence, things others ignore. This makes them calm in chaos, but misunderstood in calm moments. Now for the twist. Studies consistently show that cat lovers score higher in openness to experience, creativity, curiosity, non-traditional thinking. They're more likely to question norms, to enjoy solitude, to explore ideas without needing group approval. And that's why cat lovers are often mislabeled as introverts when they're really something else entirely. They're selective extroverts. They can be social, magnetic even, only when the environment feels right. Just like a cat choosing when to approach. When a cat lover withdraws, it's not rejection, it's regulation. They know when their nervous system needs quiet, and that self-awareness is rare. Here's the mind blow. Cat lovers are often more resilient to loneliness, not because they don't need people, but because they're comfortable with themselves. They don't panic in silence. They don't fill every gap with noise. And in a world addicted to constant stimulation, that's almost a superpower. So what does all this mean? Loving cats isn't about the animal. It's about the mindset. Independence without cruelty, affection without ownership, loyalty without obedience. Cat lovers tend to build relationships based on mutual respect, not dependency. And that changes how they love, how they argue, and how they walk away when something no longer feels safe. Here's the final thought.
Cats don't love everyone, and cat lovers are okay with that. They don't chase validation. They don't beg to be chosen. They wait, and when they are chosen, they show up fully. So now I want to hear from you. Are you a cat person, a dog person, or somewhere in between? And what do you think it says about you? Drop your answer in the comments. Share this with someone who thinks cat lovers are cold. And if you want more psychology that reveals the truth behind human behavior, subscribe and hit the bell, because the most interesting minds are always the ones that don't bark for attention.